Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do the first look, how to set up for the first time and the first cleaning on the brand new Narwal Freo Z10 Ultra robot vacuum cleaner. Now I did buy this robot vacuum cleaner with my own money. It does have a really high price tag, $1,300 retail. Thankfully it is on sale right now for $800. It wasn't on sale when I purchased mine, but I did buy mine off of Amazon Renewed. So this must have been a return. They went through it. It looks perfectly normal, so you can always save money. Don't ever forget, go to Amazon Renewed and then search for robot vacuum cleaners, and you can get some pretty good deals when robots aren't on sale. And they've got the full return policy with it. So if I don't like this in 30 days, I can return it, or if something's wrong with it. I did take out the warranty for Amazon. I haven't had to use it yet, but I'll let you know when I do. I do think it's a good deal, but I haven't used it yet. Now, I did purchase this with my own money. I'm not paid for this video. If you do end up purchasing this product off of this video or on my website, justadadapproved.com, the product's not going to cost you anymore, but I do earn a small commission from the sale. So in this video, we're going to unbox it, put it all together, connect it to our smartphone, map our home. I'll show you how to edit the map. Then I'll show you the recommended settings. Then we'll do the first clean in the world famous Just a Dad corner cleaning studio area. Then we'll do the first carpet cleaning over here on the carpet test area. Then I'll do a separate video on advertising versus reality. That's a new series I've got. So if these things claim they can do big messes in their advertising, I'll verify it and we'll see if it actually does it. Then I'll take it to my home. 3 months I'm going to live with this robot, and I'm going to tell you how much did I have to mess with it. How well did it clean, corner, clutter test, give it an overall score, and then I'll tell you, is it the gold standard, the buy it now, or wait for a deal, or skip it. It'll eventually get one of these stickers. Now the skip it won't be approved, but these will be the Just a Dad approved stickers. Now, if you want to see all the robots that I already approve of, check out my website, justadadapproved.com. The Mova P10 Pro, I've already lived with it for 3 months. I absolutely loved it. You can see all my top picks on my website, justadadapproved.com. Real quick, specs, 1,300 to 800, 18,000 pascals of suction. Mop pads, this does reach into the corner. Side brush, they don't. No onboard water tank, and I'll explain that later. It doesn't fill the robot up with water and squirt water on the mop pads. It relies on these things to be very absorbent so that when they get washed, they hold their water, which that does work, but video camera, I think it does. No chassis lift, dirt detection sensor, which I love, hot air, hot water, proprietary solution bottle, which I don't like, but it does have tray removal. So here's everything that comes in the box for the Narwal Freo Z10 Ultra. We do have the side brushes we're going to have to install. It comes with an extra filter. It does come with the solution bottle. I'll show you how to install it. Extra dustbin and an extra bag. Now this vacuum cleaner will vacuum and mop your home at the same time. So I'm going to start over here. This is the base station. I'll tell you about it, and then we'll move over to the robot. So it comes with this little ramp. We have to install this little ramp so the robot can go up. Up here we have this is the clean water tank and a dirty water tank. So there's just a float in here. You will have to clean that out. The clean water tank, there's a line in there. There is a little filter at the end of that little hose. Now around back, it's got a 3-prong cord. It's about 4 feet long. No power switch, but let's look at 120 to 127 volts, 50 or 60 hertz. When it's dust collecting, 450 watts. When it's heating the water, 1,250 watts. All right, let's take the cover off here. So this is the dust bag. When the robot vacuums your home, it's going to come back. Everything gets sucked up into this dust bag. You got to replace this every couple months. It's very easy to replace. Just slide a new one in there. This is where the solution bottle goes. Now, you do have to peel this vent off. So peel that off. And now that end, you're not going to do anything with. There's a little rubber thing. Be careful, it's kind of sharp. You're simply going to push it in and it works. So now we can close the lid. This is a little window to let us know the electrolyzing of the water. There is a touch screen up here to let us, we can do different things with it. And I like that it has a little sticker here to explain what different things mean on the touch screen. Base station front to back, 16 inches or 41 centimeters. Left to right, 17 inches or 44 centimeters. Height, you do have to be able to lift the lid all the way, and that's going to require 29 centimeters or 21 inches or 74 centimeters. Now down here, this is where it's going to auto empty the dustbin. This is where it washes the mop rollers. This is where it's going to charge them. Again, no port. It doesn't fill the robot up with water. It fills this area down here with hot water, and then it sucks the water up into the dirty water tank. Now I do like that we get tray removal. It's a little tricky. Wish it had a little better handle, but sometimes you just gotta grab it like this. This whole tray comes out for easy cleaning. We don't have to do a lot of cleaning down here. There's where it blows hot air. That white port on the left, it blows, yeah. This is where the hot air comes out. There's the suction, goes up into the dirty water tank. I think this is where the hot water comes down right here. Again, this will get really dirty, but it's easy to clean. Just take it to your sink, take this off. It's all very simple to clean. Nothing you have to worry about. Just clean it, put it back. When you slide this in, make sure this is nice and flush. And this is kind of like this. Over to the robot. It is 14 inches or 36 centimeters. It does have LiDAR navigation. To the top of the LiDAR cover is 4 3/8 of an inch tall, or 11 centimeters tall. Now, before you get started, make sure this is a cover for this sensor. So make sure you remove that. It blends in really good, but it does need to be removed. Now, unfortunately, the sticker that tells you to remove it, it leaves a sticky residue when you take it off. But underneath there's the spinning LiDAR. I do like robots that have LiDAR navigation. This is to help with obstacle avoidance. Lift the lid off, and we're going to take the bumper guard off. Now the bumper's free to move. Again, it does have an LED light. These are obstacle avoidance sensors. Side sensor here. Again, this is where it charges the robot. There is no port. It doesn't fill the robot up with water. But here's the dustbin. So it vacuums everything. Everything's going to go into the dustbin. This is a filter. You are going to have to clean this filter. It's reusable, but you got to clean that I like to clean mine every couple weeks. The dustbin, part of it is you throw it away after a while, but I've found that I can just clean these and keep using these. It's got a little screen. You got to clean, whenever you clean this filter, mainly you got to clean this screen. This is what clogs up first. So I like to clean that every couple weeks. But now up top, there is a physical power button, which you got to hold down to turn on and turn off, or there's a home button. So if it's bothering you, you can press the home button, it'll go home. Or you can quickly tap the power button and it starts a cleaning. Okay, let's install the side brushes. They are color coded, and there's like 2 triangles. So line up the small one and the big one, snap it on. It'll only go one way. Same over here. Now it does have cliff sensors. These need to be wiped off every 30 hours. This one's a little hidden. It's a little harder to clean. Cliff sensor here. This is where it auto empties the dustbin. This is the brush roller for vacuuming. Pinch these tabs. Now it's a floating brush roller. So the long hairs are not going to wrap around this. They're fluted and it's directed to here. There's no pivot point over here. So then they'll get sucked in. I do like these floating brush rollers. They do work very good. Again, long hairs down and then in. This wheel just spins free. These are your drive wheels. Now let's talk about the mop pads. These are very absorbent. You will have to replace these. These do get pretty worn from being washed and used on your floor, but they're very soft. But you can freshen them up by putting them in your laundry also. But here's the deal. So the robot's going to mop your floors. Now, the wetness is going to be set by the base station. And it's going to wash the mop rollers, but then how long it spins dry them is how much water will be left in them. So I prefer robots that typically have a water tank inside and spray water on top of the mop pads. This is a little different way of doing it. I feel like it goes back to the dock maybe a little bit more often than it should. It can lift the mop pads up and down because it has a carpet. So it has a really good carpet sensor. And when it senses carpet, it will lift the mop pads so they're not dragging on the carpet. It can move one of the mop pads up against the wall. And these do have like a triangle pattern to help with missing the little center section there. It can lift the mop pads 12 millimeters. Okay, let's fill the clean water tank up with clean water. Now, I find it easier just to add cleaning solution to the clean water tank. About 2 dabs. You can find all of this, everything that I recommend on my website, justadadapproved.com. Also the Effordent tablets. So every time I empty the dirty water tank, I put one of these tablets in there to prevent odor. These things will really stink. And you do have to clean them. This is the perfect brush from Walmart. It's on my website, justadadapproved.com. You can clean these for $5. It works great, along with the scrubbing bubbles. This helps eliminate the odor. Base station's plugged in, clean water, dirty water tank. This does light up, but it'll show more whenever we get it all set up. Okay, let's turn the unit on. Hold that button down for about 4 or 5 seconds. It'll turn on and play some music. The LiDAR is going to spin real slow. The Narwal app's free to use, but you have to log in with a username and password. So click the little plus button up here, and it's searching for nearby devices. I'm not sure if that's it. Those are weird names. I think I'll just say it's a Z10 Ultra. Z10 Ultra. All right, it's powered on. Hit next. Select your Wi-Fi, hit the select button, and then type in your Wi-Fi password. Hit next. So it's scanning.
Network connecting.
Okay, so that worked. That worked. That was very easy. That's changing to yellow.
Network connected.
There is a reset button right here. You can do it with a paper clip. All right, there it is. We have to agree. I don't want to do that. Let's go charge it. So now's a good time to put it on the charger. And we want to hear the word charging. Well, it doesn't say charging, but we heard that beep. I'm not going to join. Okay. There is a firmware update, and I recommend doing this. Start updating. You may not have this, but so it's installing the new firmware. I do think these help robots with your user experience. So you just got to sit back, let it do its thing. I'm not sure how long this will take. There is a status bar going across. Okay, that seemed like forever. Maybe like 20 minutes or so, but took a long time. All right, now let's do quick mapping. It's going to undock, and it's going to use its LiDAR, and then it'll create the map in real time. It's pretty cool. Open up your doors, kind of pick your furniture up and stuff. It's going to randomly move through your home. And there it is, the map in real time. This is the coolest part. I do love LiDAR navigation. Okay, that took a while to map my studio, but it did a good job. So let's go in and edit the map. Let's click right here. Map management. Map editing. So you can split the rooms. Now take your time. This is important. It just kind of helps things in the future. So let's go split. I want to split this room right here. Now, Narwal does have a thing where it doesn't let you split onto certain things. Like if that line is dashed, it won't do the split. Yeah, it's unfortunate. This is an area where I think Narwal could do better. Because all my other robots can split in this little area right here, but Narwal can't. Once the line is solid, then you just hit the check mark. Had to back out and do it over again. It got confused. Okay. You can merge different rooms together. And then Let's name some rooms. So you can pick the defaults. It will clean it, the room accordingly to the default, or you can do a custom name. So take your time here. It'll help whenever you're doing your cleaning and scheduling, if you take your time in editing all the rooms and giving them a name. Now furniture, I don't necessarily do the furniture. Floor material, let's pick the corner test. I know is all hardwood floor, so I'm going to pick that. The direction is right here. So I know it's wood floor, and the direction of the wood floor goes this way. It does mop better when the robot can mop in the direction of your floor. It does mop better. So hit the check mark here and hit save. Now, if it's different material, it will press the mop pads down harder, like on, I forget, on the other ones, like tile or marble. Wood, it doesn't press down as hard. Carpet, I'm going to have it clean my entire home a couple times, and then you can go in and fine tune the carpet. But as it cleans your home, it will identify where all the carpet is with that like squiggly line there. No-go zones, so I know it's going to struggle in a couple rooms. It's going to struggle with some wires on the ground. So you can add these later, wherever you find out the robot. You can do no vacuum and mopping, no vacuuming, or no mopping. 3 different types. Hit save. Room character. So I want to set please set the care. I can select the high soil room. That's funny. So I guess that might be interesting. It would clean it better if you said it was a high soil room. And then edit the layout. You can move the walls in and out. So you can do multiple floors. Hit the little plus button here. I guess I did one with no stair. I do have stairs. The robot will enable. Yeah, so I have stairs. I guess that I want that enabled. Okay, now let's go to settings. Click the gear icon. Let's go to device, device position, area unit, square feet, locate, restart, network, unbinding, and privacy settings. Freo mind. Okay, intensive cleaning for large dirty area. If it recognizes a large dirty area, it'll go into a Freo mind. How many times will it repeat the mopping? Use heavy detergent. It's not installed, it says. The vacuum suction power is in smart, quiet or strong. Mopping humidity, smart. You can set the mopping humidity slightly dry, standard, or smart, or slightly wet. Coverage, precision, smart, standard, or meticulous. That's when it's in Freo mind. That's like its AI mode. Whenever it's in AI mode, you can select how it operates. Clean mode. Wash the mop pads every 1,000 or 108 feet. That's the default. Or you can do by room. Intensive corner cleaning. Mop extensions turned on. Intensive cleaning for granular debris. Whenever it senses debris, the vacuum debris, it'll do an intense cleaning. General, do not disturb is off. I recommend turning that on. High altitude mode, I'm not in a high altitude mode, but you can turn that on. Child lock and auto power off. General, yeah, that was it. General. Dock. Autofill and cleaning solution is on. Auto dust bag and bacterial control is on. This is where it tells you how the dust bag needs to be changed, I guess. Mop drying, silent drying, strong drying, or smart drying. Default or dock default cleaning mode. When you press that play button on top, what does it do? It does a vacuum and mop. You could do vacuum then mop, vacuum only, or mop only. Smart temperature controlled. The temperature that it uses to clean the mop pads, it's going to decide for you based on dirt scents and different things. Auto dust bag empty, smart, or every time of execution. I like this. I like to empty that dust bag more often. Dust bag empty mode, strong. Pet friendly mode. You can turn this on And it gives you more features to stay away from pets and different things. More obstacle avoidance. Map management we've already been to. Manage accessories. This is when it's time to replace these. Now that filter in the dustbin, you need to, it says every 2 weeks clean it. I'm glad to see that. But you may not get a reminder to do that. Language, AI recognition. So it's in smart. If it's banging into too much stuff, you could click safety. Third party control, that's your smart switches. Experimental functions, I typically don't turn these on. I've never got this to work right. Update furniture floor material, I've seen that on other robots, it's never worked. Okay, now you're back. This is your whole, whenever you come here first, if you hit play, it's going to clean your entire room, your entire house. If you click here, it's going to be in Freo Mind, vacuum and mop. So whatever settings you set in the setting, that's what it's going to do. Or you can do vacuum, then mop Freo Mind. You can do vacuum only Freo Mind, mop only Freo Mind, or room. But let's go back to vacuum and mop. You can customize it yourself. I could say I wanted to do 3 cycles, 4 levels of suction. I picked the suction power. I picked the wetness level, 3 levels of wetness, and the coverage pattern. I don't have that, and more cleaning settings. I could pick how often it washes the mop. Now if I want to do certain rooms, I can pick this, then that room. It'll clean those rooms accordingly to the order I've selected and what I've selected. You can do vacuum then mop, vacuum only, mop only, room custom, and floor maintenance is not installed. There must be something you can peel away. You must be able to install another detergent. Oh yeah, right here. I think if you peel this away, you can put another detergent bottle in, I think. It looks like this, but it goes right here. I'm pretty sure. Now this does have an onboard camera with a dock. You can do an auto empty of the dust bag. You can start and stop the drying and washing of the mop. Go right to accessories or normal. Schedule, put it on a schedule. That's the number one thing I tell people to do is have it clean your house at least once a week. History, that's where you're going to see the history. Okay, let's tell it to do the corner cleaning test. Let's do vacuum and mop. I'm not going to do Freo. Let's just do a custom 2 cycles. Vacuum power, let's go strong. Let's go standard humidity and meticulous. And let's hit start now. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to wash the mop pads. That's going to do 2 things. It cleans them, but it also sets the wetness level. Well, the first thing it does is auto empties the dustbin. Narwhals do that on the beginning of a cycle, where most robots will empty the dustbin at the end of the cycle. So it does electrolyze the water. This is a way of electrolyzing, is helping the water clean better without using chemicals, but I'm not really sure how that works. So right now it is heating the water. It heats the water, and that water in the base station is going to set the wetness of the mop pad. Again, the robot doesn't have an internal water tank. It doesn't spray water onto the mop pads like some of these other robots do. These are kind of thicker and absorb more water, so they're set by the base station. We got clean water tank, dirty water tank. And you're hearing it's relatively a quiet base station. You're hearing the dirty water pump kick on. You'll also hear it spinning the mop pads pretty quick. Okay, so it undocked. It's going to travel to that room. You're going to hear a sewer pump kick on for just a little bit longer after it. Okay, let's see how the Narwal Freo Z10 Ultra cleans up this big mess in this room. Looks like it is going to avoid that cable. It has a really good obstacle avoidance sensor. It's going to vacuum and mop this room. Now it is a little on the tall side. It's almost 4.5 inches tall, so it will not be able to go underneath that piece of furniture. It does have a mop pad that it can extend right up against the wall. Now it does not have a side brush that it can extend into the corner. Now those mop pads have to capture that dirt and take it back to the base station to get washed off. Wow, did a good job with those muddy paw prints. There's still a little bit left. It's going to do 2 passes though. All right, looks like it's going to do the second pass now. So on the second pass, it does do the perimeter of the room. It does leave stuff in the corner. We'll see if it has dynamic obstacle avoidance. I took the obstacle out of the way. And it does. So it's not doing the best job vacuuming. The first pass, it left a section in the middle, like where you thought it would have gotten. And I do have it on a pretty high suction level. I've got it almost all the way, here's super powerful. Here's what quiet sounds like. So quiet is very quiet. We did get like a hairball on the mop pads. Now it does have a pretty cool feature where it turns the side brush off. Whichever side brush is on the wet side, it turns it off and turns the other one on. little bit of mud left. Not too bad, actually. There's some mud there. There's some smearing. It's not a perfectly clean floor, but we'll see if I had it in the Freo mode, I think that activates the dirt detection sensor, but it'd be nice if that dirt detection sensor in the dock. So now it's going to travel back to the base and wash all that mud off. And we would like for it to come back, sense that there's dirt on the mop pads, and do a remopping event. But I don't think that works. Ooh, there is a big hairball on the mop pads. Again, it does wash the mop pads with hot water and dries them with hot air.
Started to prepare electrolyzed water.
Again, I don't know if that electrolyzed water does anything. I just put my floor cleaning solution in the clean water tank when I fill it. It's got a solution bottle, but it's proprietary. Now earlier it did have a picture of the cable, but whenever I took the cable away, it took the picture away. So it did take a picture of my shoe. I have to agree to it. Oh, next time it'll show. But anyway, it will take a picture of your shoe. Cleaning pattern was a little erratic next to the wall right there. I'm not sure why. Yeah, the floor's got quite a bit of dirt, quite a bit of long hairs. Again, I understand it doesn't have a corner cleaning capability, but I would have thought it could have vacuumed this area a little bit better. Same with over here. But overall, it did an okay job. Not the best. Narwhals really pride themselves on re-cleaning. So when it's in Freo, if it cleans a room that's dirtier than normal, it'll go back and re-clean that room up to like 2 or 3 times. So they're notorious for using a lot of water, but they can get your floors pretty clean. Yeah, it even changed the suction power to super powerful. Oh, that was me, I'm sorry. I thought it did it automatically. It's really spinning those mop pads quick.
Cleaning executed. Task completed. Mop drying started.
Okay, so it's done. It's not going to do a remopping event. I wasn't in the Freo mode. So it's drying the dust bag and the mop pads and the dust bin inside the robot, which is kind of nice. So let's... It does give you a shine report. Oh, sometimes I thought it tells you how dirty it was. Sometimes it tells you, but it might have to be in the Freo mode. They really want you, Narwhal really wants you to work in the Freo mode. It did see granular debris and 5 stains. I'm not sure what that is. Let's take a look at the dirty water now. I've had it clean that area a couple times. So this is probably 4 cleanings in that area. So it probably uses about that much. Water is kind of warm. All right, let's just see. It was able to wash the hairball off. Holy cow. Oh, that's right. This is my fault. I'm so used to robots auto emptying when they're done. Narwhals do not auto empty until the next clean. So that's why we have a bunch of dirt and debris in there. See, there's the mop pad drying, dust bag drying. I can do an auto empty.
Drying and disinfection completed.
There's where it's auto emptying the dust bin. Now, had I done the Freo Mind. The only thing with Freo Mind is it's just going to do one pass. I mean, then maybe with the mop pad, I don't feel like it cleans. Well, yeah, it would have went back twice maybe. So this is the first cleaning. I just wanted to see how it was going to clean. I do recommend using the Freo Mind, and I like that you can customize it here. You know, you can have it remop up to 3 times. And you can tell it what the Freo does during all of these settings. So I do like that part, the customization of it. But in Freo Mind, they can use a lot of water, which I guess is what you want. And that was one of the reasons I put the Freo Z Ultra on water. They have a kit that you can buy that hooks up water lines to it. It's a kit. I've got a video on it. You can install this kit on that one over there. So it's really nice, but you got to have a drain line and a water line. Now, before we go further, there's one setting that I wish they would change. Whenever you first map your home, it shows you where the carpet is, but it adds a default setting that I don't like. So click the carpet, see right there, cross carpet without cleaning. That means it's not going to vacuum that carpet. So what you have to do is go in here and hit clean. Now it'll lift the mop pads and vacuum that carpet, but for some reason the default is cross without cleaning, and it's in my opinion, that should be the default. Add with see all of these carpets that it found during the original mapping, it says cross. So I want clean. Clean the carpet, avoid the carpet, cross. See, I never selected that. It selected it on its own. I don't like that. Because I've had so many problems with Freos that I first get, and I'm like, why isn't it cleaning carpet? And you have to remember to go back in and change this setting. So, I mean, unless you don't want it to clean carpet, but it can raise its mop pads so that it can vacuum carpet, which is what most robots do. But now, even though I changed it there, you have to go, the old carpets, this is frustrating. The old carpets are still, see, the way they were originally saved. So you got to go in, even though I changed the default now, any new carpet, it should clean. I got to go in and change this for each one now. It's almost like they never really envisioned this thing cleaning carpet much, but that's pretty much what it has to do, I think. I mean, you want it to clean carpet, but it's not the default setting. Okay, let's do a spot clean. Let's go vacuum only, custom, two passes, super powerful, meticulous, start. Now, I've never seen this before. You can turn on ultra powerful. I guess that's different than super. I didn't realize there was something more than super powerful. So let's turn on vortex. Wow. So the robot's gonna first auto empty its dustbin. Whoop. I did a manual auto empty, so it may have already known that. But typically, anytime it's going to go clean, the first thing it does is it auto empties the dustbin. Now there is a big hair clump from the mopping test. There's a hairball on the mop pad. That was from the world famous Just a Dad corner cleaning test that I did earlier. But now we're going to do the carpet test. Okay, it's going to do the perimeter of the room first. Now it is really loud. I've got it on ultra vortex powerful. That's the highest setting possible. Now I got a bunch of kitty litter, long hairs strewn all throughout, and ground coffee and confetti. So after it does the perimeter of the room, then it's going to go back and forth in the nice straight lines. Wow, it's doing a good job of vacuuming. Wow, it's doing a really good job of vacuuming. Okay, that is really loud. The cleaning pattern could be a little tighter. I did notice it left a little strip right there, but it is doing a really good job. It does seem to be going in straight lines. There's no hitch. It's got a nice flow to it. I'm anxious to see if it auto empties all this, because now I'll turn the suction down once it does this first pass. It did one of these circles earlier. It did a circle like right here. I don't have it in Freo. I don't think I have the particulate thing on. Maybe it's on. It's just really loud. Freos just do that every once in a while. They are never perfect in their... They always have just random things sometimes, I've noticed. Okay, let's turn that suction down now. It's definitely needs a second pass. This first pass was really good. All right. Element Ultra. So it's going to travel for the second pass. It does do the perimeter of the room on the second pass. So that's super powerful. Let's go to back to Ultra. It's like a jet engine. Okay, let's just walk it down. Super powerful, strong. Strong's bearable. Standard's a little bit more bearable. Quiet. Quiet and standard, there's not much of a difference. There's the cleaning pattern. I guess it did see me walking. Took a picture of my shoe. Now it went away. And it did see that cord over there. So it does have good optical recognition. It shows all the pictures it took. There's those little giddy ups. I'm not sure what those were. That's the Narwal flow up there. I couldn't get it to pass the 3-month test at my home. It did okay at the studio after several updates, but when I took it to my home, just no good. It didn't get the sticker of approval. Now the Dreamy Matrix 10 got the wait for a deal, and so did the Mobius 60. Raises the mop pads 12 millimeters. They're sort of dragging on the carpet. Not too bad though. There is an option to vacuum before it mops. That way they're not even wet. I don't know what those random circles or notches are for. This should be a perfectly square zone, but it's doing like little notches. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it had a notch over here or something and it just follows it through. Now this thing, when it goes back to the base station, it won't auto empty. I'll have to manually do that. Because Freos don't empty until the next clean. It dries the dirt and debris, so if it's sucked up any water into the dustbin, it gets dried, and then the next, that way I guess liquid never, or wet material never gets sucked up into the dust bag, which I guess that is sounds good. And we'll check for long hair wrap on the brush roller. So we're gonna, when it ends, we'll flip it over, check it, and check the dustbin. This should be the last pass. Little notches here and there, I'm not sure why. It should have been a perfectly square. All done. Robots should vacuum when they go back to their dock.
Charging started.
All right, no auto empty. So let's go to the dock.
Drying and disinfection completed.
I'm not sure if it got all of it out or not. We're gonna see. That's all you get is one suction. Okay.
Start dust bag drying and disinfection.
Nope. Nope. Not even close. I mean, it didn't sound like, it sounded like it got some, and then it kind of like, you could hear it was, the airflow wasn't right.
Suspended in the air.
Okay, so
Please restart it in an open space.
No hair wrap, that's good. This brush roller is good for no hair wrap. This is a proven design. I'm a little concerned about the auto empty. Very concerned, actually. I know there's a lot of hair in there and everything, and it started to come out, but it just got a blockage. I thought that opening was a little small, and it goes out the bottom.
The robot is suspended in the air. Please restart it in an open space.
Let's do an auto empty.
Recall.
Okay, let's do... Another dust bag empty. No, you can tell it's struggling. You're not getting that air. You can tell the airflow's not circulating through. You can tell. I'll do one more. Just
start dust bag drying and disinfection. Drying and disinfection completed.
no, it's not doing it. No, I already know. Doesn't sound right. Yeah, it's got a block. It's the hair. I can't even lift it up. It's so compacted. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's long hair. I mean, that's not like a big hairball. It's just strings of hair. I didn't have the hair like all clumped together. Oh boy, that's an awfully small dustbin. For the, yeah. I don't know if it's ever going to be able to. I mean, it was a torture test. I know I get that, but here's what it should sound like.
Dust collection will start soon. Please.
There's that airflow you're hearing, that funk. Good air. I can tell there's good airflow. It just can't handle. And this is why we take them to our home. This was the torture test. Obviously, it can't do that much hair. I do have a dog. My wife does have hair that around the sink area on the floor sometimes, so I will definitely see if it can handle my home. My dog does shed a lot. So again, I really do appreciate everybody's support. Again, justthedatapproved.com, robot vacuum cleaners that have passed my testing. The 3-month real world testing are already on my website right now. Again, if you click on a link on my website, I am an Amazon affiliate. It'll take you to Amazon. The product's not going to cost you anymore, but I do earn a small commission from the sale. Again, that's why I take these robots to my home. This is a pretty big torture test. It's doing okay in the studio. It's good enough that I got to take it to my house and see how it's going to do. So I'll look for that video coming. This one's been around for a little while. It's definitely not a $1,300 robot. Again, it's been doing, I just got to do more testing. So again, this is the first look. If you're anxious about getting it, you can see for yourself, I might be a little hesitant because typically the ones that I approve of actually do fairly good here. They don't like miraculously get a whole lot better at my house. If they can't pass, if they can't pass the torture test here, most of them do a little bit better than that. This reminds me of the Mova Z60. It couldn't pass that test. And it didn't fare any better at my house. So again, justthedatapproved.com. It's going to be your go-to place. When I bring this back after 3 months, I'll show you how to do all the cleaning. I'll put links to all of the cleaning supplies I use are already on there. Best upgrade for robot vacuum cleaners, tips and tricks to keep your robot vacuum cleaner working good. Sign up for my email list. These sale events, robots that I highly recommend that have already passed my 3-month real world testing. I'll send an email out when they go on sale. They just go on sale at such random times, and we've got to take advantage of these sales. I mean, the Mova P10 Pro is normally $600. When it was on sale last year a couple times, $400. I recommend buying it at $600. When it's $400, I mean, it's just an amazing deal. So again, sign up for my email list. I don't send out a bunch of emails, once, maybe twice a week during sales events. But again, just the robots that I highly recommend that have my stamp of approval. If they have the wait for a deal, well, it's a deal and I'm going to send an email out, or if they're just buy it now. So again, justadadapproved.com. I want to be your go-to place for robot vacuum cleaners, all types of reviews. I've reviewed stick vacuum cleaners, corded vacuum cleaners. Nothing's changing as quick right now as robot vacuum cleaners. This is the wild, wild west right now. You can spend $1,300 on an absolute piece of junk robot, and you can spend $500 on a robot that's far superior than a $1,300 robot. It's just all over the place. There's they're not getting rid of old models. This is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm demystifying robot vacuum cleaners. It's very challenging when they keep all the old robots, which a lot of them are pieces, they're just junk. So again, even the newer ones, not all of them are good. So it's just demystifying this for you. I buy them, I review them, I tell you my honest opinion on them, and then I'd give you, if it's a robot that I recommend, it's gonna have all the videos to back it up. It'll have the torture test, the unboxing, how to set it up. I'll compare it to its closest competitor. I'll show you at my house. I'll bring it home. I'll bring it to the studio. I'll show you how to clean it. After all those videos, then it gets my stamp of approval. So that way, all the videos will back up my stamp of approval. So again, justadadapproved.com will be your go-to place for robot vacuum cleaners and all types of reviews. Nothing's harder to review right now than robot vacuum cleaners. Stick vacuum cleaners and cordless vacuum cleaners, I mean, once in a while we get a new one. There's nothing earth-shattering going on there. The prices aren't super all over the place. And even some of the older ones are still relatively good with stick vacuums. That's not the case. If a robot vacuum cleaner is more than 2 years old, it's way outdated. So again, justadadapproved.com. I know I keep saying that, but I'm just so excited for it. It's real simple website right now, but I have a team working on it. We're going to develop a new website. All the information is going to be right there for you. We don't always have time to watch videos, but a website that you're like, what is the latest and greatest on the robot vacuum cleaners? Justadadapproved.com. So again, if you find this video helpful, hit the like, subscribe button, and thanks for watching. Okay, bonus footage. Let's do some basement videos. I've got some new videos coming out, but I've got a retirement community here. These are robots in retirement, taking it easy. I've got a whole new lineup of testing going on. I've got the Roomba 705 down here. Q-Revo. This is what I'm really putting through the ringer, is this Mova P50. It's actually doing a really good job down here. I love it, but I'm putting a lot of hours on it. Same with the Eufy E28. The S1 has got a problem. More robots over here. These are kind of in retirement or on holding pattern, but I'm checking a lot of the Eufys. These are older robots, but I've got the Z10 down here. It's doing okay, uses a lot of water. Got the Shark, Ecovacs, a lot of the Roombas. This is the old Roombas here. We're testing them to see how they do. The 405 docked on the Q7. That's hilarious. That's not your dock. This is your dock. So, robots docking on the wrong dock. That's funny. Here's the Roomba dinosaurs. These things are way past their prime. At one time, these were the best, but these things have been far surpassed. This is their new lineup. It does okay, but there's just better robots for the price. We got all the Shark robot vacuum cleaners, some in retirement. We're testing the X30. I had some problems earlier with the E30, the Mova E30, but I'm just testing them. That D10 Gen 2, I've recommended it a lot, so I'm putting it through the ringer down here. Somebody's lost. Ecovacs T30, can't get back. But I did hire somebody, and he is documenting who's doing what, who's failing, who's picking up good dirt, the dirty water tanks, how they look. So we're going to try to come up with some long-term testing on these robots.